Hi everybody, welcome to Cafe. I'm Clarence Reynolds.
And I'm Crystal Candy. It's great to be back with you to share all the fun and exciting events that are happening this week.
Let's start off with Amy Sweezy, who is at the Orlando Science Center with something special. Hey Amy.
Okay. Ugh. I'm in the kinetic zone at the Orlando Science Center. And yes, these are the pulley chairs. Ugh, bet you can't guess why. I'm trying to lift myself up here. Ugh. I don't know if I can make it to the top. Hey Jeff, how are you doing down there?
Yeah, it's not happening. Science is not my friend today.
All right, Jeff, well, how about you show me something else in the kinetic zone?
That sounds like a great idea.
All right, I'll be right down. All right, this is literally science in motion, Jeff. Tell me more about the kinetic zone.
Kinetic zone is all about physics, it's about engineering, it's about kinetic energy. All of Orlando Science Center is STEM, but what people kind of visualize when they talk about STEM is really right here in kinetic zone. All kinds of interesting opportunities like this Bernoulli table,
Magic.
which is using the power of air to levitate balls. We also have engineering challenges, which are challenging people to use their problem-solving skills, their collaboration, their critical thinking, all those important STEM skills.
I'm terrible at it.
This is my revenge on the pulley chair.
Right. Very cool. All right, so what else is in here?
We've got some simulators. We've got these great engineering challenges where you can create contraptions that go down a zip line. We play around with plasma balls and some of those traditional Science Center things. So there are a lot of physical science activities in Kinetic Zone that will bring back memories of probably Science Centers and museum visits that you went as a kid or when your kids were younger.
Right, and that's a good point too, because the Science Center, you always think about it's families with kids. Parents bring their children here, but it's really for all ages, right?
Yeah, there's no age limit on curiosity. So if you're interested in learning something new, come on down to Orlando Science Center. Also for adults specifically, we do Science Night Live, which is an adult night that happens 5 times a year, where on a Saturday night, we open up the Science Center specifically for adults with guest speakers, cool activities, and all the Science Center, but no kids.
All right, so you heard it right here. Bring your kids, don't bring your kids. It's all at the Orlando Science Center. Don't miss it. They are closed on Wednesdays during the school year, but open every other day of the week.
Yes.
Amy is not being held hostage at the Science Center. If you think that. She can come and go as she pleases.
She can, but she is a science nerd, and we love her reports. And I do believe that every time you go to the Orlando Science Center, you will find something new and exciting to discover.
She's having a great time too. Absolutely. If you're looking for a job or a new job, the Central Florida Employment Council presents a job fair on July 10th from noon until 4. Attendees will have the opportunity to engage with nearly 100 companies operating in Central Florida who are looking for candidates like you. Explore thousands of job openings across various industries and access valuable employment resources to support your job search. Also, there is a new job fair mobile app to help you navigate this in-person event. Register today and download the app at cfec.org.
If you're wondering how we'll keep track of all the photos being taken these days, head over to the Pulaski Museum and Sculpture Garden. On July 11th, check out a live program that explains why documentary photography matters. The event features a presentation on the history of documentary photography and why it's still important in the 21st century. The presenter will also share samples of his own work while documenting America's changing cultural landscape. For tickets and more details, go to pulaski.org.
It's time for more music at the Casa as Blue Bamboo presents the Don Soledad Trio on July 14th at 11 a.m. Soledad's dedication to the art of flamenco guitar started under the tutelage of guitar maestros in the U.S. and Spain. He's opened for jazz guitar legend Larry Coryell, played at the Versace Mansion in South Beach, and performed for Gloria Estefan's private parties. Music at the Casa partners Blue Bamboo Center for the Arts with the historic venue Casa Feliz to present this concert series. And for tickets, go to bluebambooartcenter.com.
This week's feature movie at the Garden Theater is Little Shop of Horrors, the movie about a meek floral assistant who stumbles across a new breed of plant. When it's too late, he discovers the plant's extraterrestrial origins and desire for world domination. Winner of the New York Drama Critics Circle Award for Best Musical, Little Shop of Horrors has devoured the hearts of audiences around the world for more than 40 years. Visit gardentheater.org for showtimes and tickets.
Election season is upon us, and we are joined by the Orange County Supervisor of Elections, Glenn Gilzine. Glenn, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for the opportunity to be here.
So we are about to get into election season. We've got primaries, we've got the general election coming up. So how do we vote here in Orange County? Because we know that there's more than just showing up at the poll on the day of voting.
Yes, so Orange County is extremely blessed. We have 3 options of voting. You can cast your ballot by vote by mail, or you can come to one of the 21 early voting sites, or you can actually cast your ballot day of on election day.
So when people go to one of the early voting sites, that's not necessarily their precinct. They're going to have the ballots for your specific precinct at that early voting site, right?
Absolutely, and what's really exciting about that, with the support of the Orange County Commission and the mayor, we were able to make a sizable investment to ensure that individuals, where they go to any of the 21 early voting sites, they can just show their ID, check in, very streamlined, very seamless, and then they'll be able to get their ballot printed day of. Take that ballot, go into the booth, cast their vote, and there it is.
You know, when I go to primary voting, there aren't many people there. What is the importance of voting in that primary, just like you do in the other elections?
Oh, it's extremely important because it gives the people an opportunity to get their voices heard in these primaries. Now, Florida's a closed primary state, so based on your party affiliation, either you're a registered Republican, registered Democrat, or even a NPA, will dictate what's on your ballot and then be able to vote and have your voices heard in that particular effort. But one thing I do want to say is that I think for this election cycle is going to be a little bit different because of the fact that people are very aware that it's a big election cycle. So I think we're going to see some large numbers coming out.
I've been here about 15 years this time around, and what I started to notice is that some of the amendments are getting easier to read. Is that on purpose? I'm starting to see that there's not like a double negative in the amendment, that you actually can understand what they're saying.
Yeah, I think so. And I think what you're seeing is that the authors of these amendment ballots, they know how important it is to get the voters to either side with them or side against them. And that's why making it in layman's term, it allows the voter to say, you know what, I want to exercise my vote. I want to exercise my voice in that particular topic.
Because of the 2020 election, a lot of people wonder, what does the supervisor of elections do? What does that office do?
Yeah. So the office is more than just administering the elections. We're responsible for voter education and voter outreach. And in a county like ours that's so vibrant and constantly growing, where we have now, 1.4 million people who have now, that calls Orange County home, our job is to ensure that all of the registered voters who want to exercise their vote, that they know where the polling locations are and make sure that they have their information in a timely fashion. Because our community has grown, and as you heard what I mentioned, that we have 21. So in the last cycle, we had 20. I've found a new location to accommodate the growth, and that new location is Lift Orlando. To help combat some of the growth that's happening in that area and make sure that those individuals have the ability to cast their vote and have their voices heard.
And where is the Lift Orlando location?
Just south of the Camping World Stadium. And the reason why I chose that location, because the supervisor of elections has a thing called the wildcard pick. And the reason why I chose that, when I looked at the data back in 2020, I realized that one of the largest precincts that had the greatest turnout was actually at the Amway Center, now known as the Kia Center. And I said it's super important to bring that back. So we were able to work with Lift Orlando, and now that's a new voting site.
That's great. If you don't somehow know where your voting location is, where your precinct is, can you call the
Absolutely. You
office?
can call the office, or you can go online to ocfelections.gov, and then you'll be able to say, where's my polling place? Click on that, and then you'll be able to find that information.
You know, it's hard for everybody, as busy as people are, to know everything on the ballot. Why is it important that people really know the folks in their community who are running for judges and all the other things? You're going to get water treatment people, everybody's on there. Why is it important to go through the entire ballot, make sure you fill out all of them and not just the one at the top or the couple at the top?
Yeah, so it's individuals are known for just looking for the president, the senator, the governor, those big races. But as you just mentioned, all the main issues that impact us on a day-to-day basis is our local elections, right? And those local positions. So it's super important that everyone go through the ballot. Our office sends out a sample ballot every election cycle, so that way you have it in a timely fashion, so you can go do your homework, talk to your community, talk to your neighbors, and identify the best candidate and be able to vote for your issues that's going to be on the ballot.
Glenn, there have been some changes in the vote by mail laws. What's changed and what can we expect?
Yeah, so the Florida legislature took action a few years ago, and they now have required that every time you want to cast or your vote by mail, you have to fill out a registration form. And if you don't, then at the end of every general election, you have to re-sign up and register. So in the last general election in 2022, there was over 280,000 Orange County active voters who were receiving their ballot by mail. Now, as of today, we are roughly about 80,000. So it's important that if our residents, our neighbors who want to cast their vote by mail, they have to submit the vote by mail registration form and submit it to our office 10 days prior to election day. So if anyone wants to cast their mail or want to exercise their voice or their vote by mail, please log on, complete that form, so then that way you receive your ballot in a timely fashion and also be able to exercise your voice.
And I was going to ask, is it just online or is there a physical?
There's a physical
registration as well?
form, and it's at every Orange County Public Library and at most Orange County government buildings.
Great. Glenn, thank you so much for being here and
Thank you.
helping us to voice our opinions and to elect our officials.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Head over to the Crialdi School of Art for its 43rd annual Juried Student Exhibition. This show features some of the year's best student work in painting, drawing, digital and film photography, ceramics, sculpture, jewelry, and fiber arts. Works are selected by Crialdi's program managers and awarded by a guest juror. The exhibition runs now through August 3rd, so go to crialdi.org for more details.
Winter Garden Heritage Foundation presents Dining in Style, the golden age of the railroad dining car. You'll find it all at the Central Florida Railroad Museum. This exhibit heralds the glamorous days of railroad dining. You'll travel back to a time when meals were prepared from scratch, served on fine china, and savored by guests aboard a streamlined train destined for the Sunshine State. The exhibit runs now through August 3rd. For specific dates and times, go to cfrhs.org. Let's see what Carissa has cooking in this week's Taste of the Town. She's at the Sugar Factory.
Ooh,
Always
I bet
delicious.
it's good.
Take it away,
Yes.
Carissa.
Hello and welcome to Taste of the Town. I'm your host, Carissa Clark. Today we're here at Sugar Factory in Icon Park, and I am thrilled to introduce you to Chef Juan. Chef, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Carissa.
So I have to tell you that this is so delicious. Chef Juan has a recipe for you that is super easy to make at home, but it is so popular here at Sugar Factory. And when he told me about it, I got so excited. So please walk the viewers through this.
So, this is for the pizza lovers.
Pizza lovers, what's the name?
This is the Brooklyn Pizza Loaded Fry.
Brooklyn Pizza Loaded Fry.
All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to turn this basket of fries
Okay.
into a pizza.
I would never have thought of this. I mean, would you have ever thought of this?
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a good old solid flat plate, rectangular,
Okay.
and we're gonna load it up with some fries.
Okay.
The higher the better,
All right.
all right? So we add our fries, and after you fry your fries, you're gonna season them with salt and pepper and a little bit of parsley, just, you know, flavor. Everything's
Okay.
about flavor, right?
Yes, it is.
So usually the way I do this is I sit there and I saute everything in a pan, but today we're doing it a little different. So we're
Okay.
gonna add our,
And when you go to
This is
saute
our
in the
marinara
pan,
sauce, yes.
what are you sauteing in the pan?
I'm sauteing our marinara sauce,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm adding the mozzarella on top of that.
All right.
Then I put the pepperoni on top of that
Okay.
and let that saute out.
All right.
Just to heat it, and then I
Okay.
stick it in the oven.
All right. All right.
Then we add our mozzarella.
Okay. So this is really essentially what it is.
Yes,
Okay.
these are the essentials. This is just how we get there.
French fries and pizza.
Like, oh yeah, never thought of it, really.
Oh my gosh, this has to be so popular.
Oh, it's a big seller. It definitely
Yes.
is. So after we add our mozzarella,
Okay.
can't have pizza without pepperoni.
No, you cannot.
Well, you can.
You
but,
can.
You know, for those cheese lovers out there, I apologize.
All right, but that's okay. That's all right.
So we're just gonna add pepperoni.
Okay.
You
And when
know.
this goes in the oven, how long is it in there for?
I would leave it in there for at least 3 to 4 minutes, you know,
Okay.
just to get a good, nice pizza look to it, where it has the little bubbly brown edges and stuff like that on that cheese. The cheese is completely melted. We're sure that that everything is.
And this makes me think of, for those of you who have family at home, what a great time together in the kitchen. French fries, have those at home. You have the tomato sauce, you can melt the cheese in together. If you have kids, you have grandkids, to get everyone in there to just make memories and spend time. I think it's just such a special memory. And when we look back at our life, this is the fun that we think about. And I know that a lot of people like to come here to Sugar Factory to make memories as well. So you'll see that they do go hand in hand. I mean, I do feel that this is super simple and approachable and something that you could do at home, and it's just gonna be so warm and delicious.
Yeah, definitely. And so we're gonna pop this in the oven. Once we're gonna pull it out, after we pull it out, we're gonna top it with Parmesan,
Okay,
grated Parmesan.
yes?
Yes,
Okay,
grated
grated, yes.
Parmesan,
Oh, I wouldn't
yeah.
think to do that. Okay,
And then just a little bit of parsley
for more flavor.
for more flavor. And
Okay.
I like it for aesthetics, you know.
Yeah.
The way it looks makes it look good too.
Right, and when you are hosting and if you're having a barbecue or anything like that, this is definitely gonna be a crowd pleaser. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Chef Juan.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure this is absolutely delicious. Please go to our website for more details, and I invite you to come here to Sugar Factory so you can enjoy your taste of the town. Until then, I'll see you around town.
What a cool way to experience
Yeah.
history. Even just reading that, it gave me a little chill because it's like, ooh, back in the days, you think about when airline travel was a thing you dressed up
Right,
for,
right.
and dining on a railroad car being so extra special. It kind of makes you want to go back in time, doesn't it?
It is, especially now that Amtrak has removed all the food from their
Oh, see, and I've
cars.
never experienced
yeah,
that.
Yeah, they used to have, food, but
Listen,
they don't have it anymore.
We can harken back to a time and experience it all.
Now there are food trucks at the stops, at train stops.
Oh,
So you
interesting.
can get off and get food.
Listen, there's always a way to get food in this day and age, but it's so cool
Absolutely.
to think like how it really was back then.
Yeah, really nice. Well, that wraps up this week of events. And if you have one that you'd like to share with us for next month, send us an email at cafe@ocfl.net. I'm Clarence Reynolds.
And I'm Crystal Candy. Remember to join us next week to see what is new and exciting in your community.